What motivated you to attend the One Heart, One Light men's retreat?
Yeah, that's a great question. I was invited by a friend to attend initially a men's work night, and kind of got acquainted with a little bit of just getting together with other men, and this friend that invited me happened to contact me a couple days later to see what I thought about everything, and that day just happened to coincide with a very difficult counseling session that I had had with my daughter. So I guess I need to give just a little bit of background. I was in a very unhappy first marriage. I dealt with an ex-wife now that he struggled with some severe mental illness issues, and as a result, I and my kids suffered. And so I was having a therapy session with my youngest daughter, who was basically expressing her anger at me. She said, I'm not angry at mom for what I went through. I'm angry at you, because dad, you didn't protect me um, from, from mom. And and that just was an emotionally triggering event for me. I really lost it in the therapy session because I should just say that in my first marriage, everything was always my fault, according to my ex-wife. And so I just got triggered by that. And I really had a tough time with my daughter that night. And so when my friend called me that night to ask what I thought about the men's night, I told him, it was great. And then the conversation shifted to my therapy session with my daughter. And he just said, well, how about if I help you just process this? And he got another person who's in the men's group, and together they just helped me talk some things out, and basically extended an invitation to attend this retreat, where they told me this would be a great opportunity to heal from different things that I'd been through. So I decided that I would. It was just an act of faith that maybe something that happened at this retreat would help me with some of uh, the burdens that I was carrying at that time. So,
Thank you. Thank you. So I guess two parts of the question. Did it help you? And if so, what were your biggest takeaways?
yeah, the the answer to that first question, did it help me, is an emphatic yes. It was life changing for me, and maybe we can talk about some of the reasons why it was life changing. What was the second question that you asked?
What were your biggest takeaways?
Yeah, I think maybe the biggest takeaway was that I just recognized that one thing I'm really good at doing, that something that I had a big habit of doing, was just suppressing emotions that I had been feeling, and not ever being in touch with myself personally to actually know what I was feeling. And um, and it was just an amazing experience for me, just how easily I felt emotions, because usually I pack those things down and I don't allow myself to feel. And after just doing some of the work there, I just found that it became easier and easier to peel off those layers and to feel those emotions. And I just found that to be such uh, a healthy process in my life, because, like I said, I'm very good at packing those emotions down and not allowing myself to feel things. And one of the major emotions that I hadn't been allowing myself to feel is joy. There was just some things that we did at the retreat where I got to let the joy come out, and that was uh, I I can't even express just how much good that did me. It's just a lot
Wonderful.
to feel joy, but also allowing myself to feel difficult things as well. And I recognized that that was, maybe painful initially, but such a healing sort of thing to allow myself to feel even painful things. That ended up being a very good thing and not a bad thing.
Right. Thank you. So as you start to feel, how has that affected family relationships?
Yeah, it's been life changing for my family relationships as well. I'll just say that so we did the retreat, and during a 48-hour period, I didn't call or talk to anybody in my family. But the first thing I did once I did get into service was to call my wife, and within seconds, I was, you know, I was I was crying. I even had trouble. I mean, I had some trouble putting into words what I was feeling, but my wife could just see that, that wow, you are different in that you are allowing yourself to feel some things. And then the very next day, I had a conversation with my two daughters, and I'll never forget that conversation. We just really connected over the experiences that I had at my retreat as I talked to them a little bit about it. And now both of these daughters have now attended a retreat. I think largely in part due to that conversation. They knew that this retreat had changed me, and they also wanted to heal from some of their own burdens. They also just wanted to start doing their own work. So, and I just had a conversation with my oldest daughter, and she just told me yesterday, Dad, that was like the best conversation we have ever had, because we were talking about her experience at the retreat, and she was able to help me just kind of remember some things, and I was able to help her remember some things, and it was just one of those great conversations. So I think it's been able. I mean, one of the biggest things is it's just helped me to be able to connect with my family members in deeper and more meaningful ways than I've ever been able to do before.
Wonderful. So this question may be a bit of a repeat, but what have you been empowered to do or change in your life as a result?
In my previous life, as I mentioned, I could never go to hard or difficult places, and one of my big regrets is that, many years ago now, so I grew up in a very happy home, and over time, what happened was, after I left home, was that happy home kind of disintegrated. There were some real challenges that hit my parents' marriage, and I had a younger brother who wanted to talk to me about what was going on, and I just wasn't in a place where I could do that. And I have regretted, this brother ended up really having, a lot of struggles with his relationship with the church, and with his relationship with God. And, and I just feel like I wasn't there. I wasn't there to hear some hard things. And I think what's really changed for me, and this is partly due to the retreat, but partly due to just many life experiences, is that I love just being able to be a safe place for people to tell me their story or the things that they're struggling with, and just to help, carry that burden, if you will. I just, like I said earlier in my life, I could not do that. I did not want to go there, and now I just know what a powerful thing it is to be able to do that with another individual. It is a very bonding experience, and so I think that's what just many of these activities that I went through at the retreat, it empowered me to just be a different person in relationships, a safe person that where people feel comfortable sharing those kinds of burdens with me. And it's, like I said, a very unifying and bonding experience.
Thank you. Thank you. What types of men would benefit most from this experience?
I am going to just say every man, I think, would benefit from this. I think, well, I can just say that, I've had many men friends, but sometimes we don't have that kind of relationship where we share, either difficult or vulnerable sort of things. Our relationship isn't that kind of relationship. And what I have seen is that this is just a necessary uh, kind of relationship that I think that every man needs. They need to have other men that they can share their difficult things with, and I think every man could benefit from that.